standing up, finding your balance, requesting a stimulation,
Stim on.
Okay, start message sent to implant.
and walking. Apparently, simple actions, but not for David, who has been severely paralyzed for 7 years.
The first time he could really walk, get out of the wheelchair after 7 years of paralysis. So that was a very emotional moment. I will never forget this. This is, I believe, the first time that people who have been paralyzed for several years are now able to walk voluntarily over ground, even outside the laboratory environment. And second, in all our participants, we have seen the recovery of a voluntary control over their paralyzed muscle, despite years of paralysis. And I believe that these two discoveries, these two findings are really unique in spinal cord injury medicine.
These two findings are the results of many years of research. In 2012, Dr. Gregoire Courtine and his team found a way to give paralyzed rats the ability to move again.
And already all the journey to have the paralyzed rats walking again was incredibly complex and long and difficult. And when we thought about it was the right time to translate this finding in animal models into a clinical application, it felt overwhelming.
In a precise surgical procedure, an electrode array is placed below the injury, over the lumbar spinal cord, which contains the neurons that control the leg muscles. The brain delivers signals that activate these muscles, but for paraplegics, this signal is weakened after passing through the lesion. The electrical stimulation therefore serves to amplify the signal. The neurosurgery was performed by Dr. Jocelyn Bloch.
For me, it was not the first time I was doing this kind of procedure, but it was the first time I was doing it in this context and with completely different perspective. And there was all this team expecting a lot. So it was quite a day I will remember all my life.
I wanted to make sure that the location was optimal to obtain our expected effect. And this was all dependent on these surgical procedures. So you can imagine the amount of stress, scientific and emotion.
A pulse generator with real-time triggering capabilities is placed below the skin and linked to the electrode array. During rehabilitation, an antenna is taped to his stomach on top of the stimulator. Then they relay the stimulation commands from a computer via an additional wireless antenna.
Basically, we have two systems here. We have a cable-based body weight support robot, which is helping the patients to stand. It also supports the balance.
Forward force.
And then the signals from this computer activate specific regions of the spinal cord to amplify residual brain commands, thus enabling him to walk.
Circulation. Up.
These targeted electrical stimulations under robot-assisted bodyweight support are the first steps in enabling paralyzed patients to start an intense rehabilitation program.
On ne sait pas trop ce qui se passe avec les jambes.
Je relâche.
So Sebastian is a very special patient. He is the most severe patient ever implanted with the system, because not only is he paralyzed, which means he has no function in the muscle, but there's also no spasticity.
In reality, the results have exceeded the researchers' hope.
Derrière la cuisse.
Patients are slowly regaining the ability to activate their muscles on their own without electrical stimulation.
Derrière la cuisse, sous le pied. Il y a aussi un meilleur contrôle volontaire qui s'est observé aussi depuis le début.
So one of the key moments, I would say, was when I started walking hands-free on the treadmill.
Yeah. 3 steps.
Really letting the bars go and do 1, 2, 3 steps without using my hand was really crazy, because I just couldn't do it before, and it wouldn't work without stimulation.
Here, our participant that had been paralyzed for up to 7 years, and yet after 2 months started recovering to have a very small movement, and then every day gets better and better and better. And after 1 month of training, someone who could not move at all his leg for 7 years, is able to do a full leg extension against the gyration of gravity. This was really unexpected.
For me, seeing this without stimulation was really incredible.
3 patients have participated in the study, and they all regained some autonomy. But this is just the beginning.
For the next steps for me is to have patients that are probably at an earlier stage of the problems.
But there's another gap between one proof of concept and 1,000 patients when it becomes a treatment for everyone. And this is a great challenge, but we are all committed, my team, my collaborator, the company that are helping us to make this treatment a treatment for everyone in the future, and I hope we will succeed.